Guruji.
Jai GuruJi Aunty.
Namaste to Guruji and all the esteemed listeners. Thank you for this opportunity, this seva today. Thanks to Shilpi and Ekta and all the listeners. So I do firmly believe that expression is a gift, which must be shared with one and all. And in a world where we are all grappling with a pandemic that keeps extending itself, I think this is a beautiful forum to express, to collaborate, to render hope, and to uplift each other. So with that intent in mind, let's be part of this journey, this seva together. And respectfully so, I request all the listeners to be present. So today we'll be reading two books simultaneously. One is GuruJi, this book. It's a coffee table book by Raghurai. And the other one is Surcharge with Divine Love, which most of us have already read, but it's worth a repeat. Like I say, all beautiful things are worth a repetition. This book is by Sukhmani Aunty. So initially, Sangaji, I was supposed to read The Power of Now. And it's a beautiful book, but it can be a little dry. And the essence is essentially that our anxiety and our worries come from either dwelling in the past or thinking about what the future is going to unfold. So the second we learn the art of focusing our mind in the present moment, there is very, very little stress in the now, in the present moment. So that's what this book is about. And I've shared the essence. जैसे गुरुजी कहते हैं ना शॉर्ट विद सुनाई, तो मैंने आपको उस किताब का तत्व शॉर्ट में बता दिया है. And I chose to go with this book because a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. So this is essentially a picture book, which is laced and sprinkled with different satsangs as we go through the pictures. So what I plan to do is read one satsang, go through a few pictures, and then switch to maybe the introduction of Surcharge with Divine Love, and then open it up to the entire Sangat family to either express themselves or ask questions, because this is a forum where we all collaborate, and it's not intended to be a monologue by any means. So in this beautiful journey together, and Guruji se aagya lete hue shuru karte hain. And I was frantically praying to Guruji this morning कि Guruji मुझसे ऐसा कोई काम नहीं कराना जिसमें आपकी रज़ा ना हो. So I bow down to my Guru, and without any further ado, we'll start. So I'm not sure if you guys have this book, but it's a big, beautiful book. It is enveloped in a beautiful case, which is of the same color as well. And it starts with this. It did not matter how any of us first met Guruji. Yes, this is very, very profound. Timing matter nahi karti, kiske through aap mile ho, kaise mile ho, matter nahi karta. What matters, Sangaji, is the realization that today we are his Sangat. Hum Guruji wale hain, hum Guruji ki Sangat hain, hum Guruji ke charnon mein hain. But when we did meet him, we were to realize sooner than later that a search of which we may not have been consciously aware had ended. A new journey began. And yes, किसी को पूर्ण गुरु की प्राप्ति without any reason नहीं होती. We may not be privy to that reason. Maybe in our past life we were searching for divinity, and so a true guru, our Mahashiv, manifested himself into our lives. I first encountered his extraordinary presence 5 years ago. My grandson is autistic beyond ordinary medical help. A Pandit had told me that only a Mahapurush could heal him. My wife Meeta and I knew no Superman, let alone believe in them. My friend Vippy led me to Guruji, known to his flock. He was the spiritual friend, the philosopher guide, and the master for his followers, and provided them with a link to the supreme energy. So this person is talking about his own journey, his own experience with Guru Sahib and how he got connected. And truly so, when Guruji had come to Delhi, Empire State, and maybe even Greater Kailash days, he was popularly known as just Guruji. Very few people even knew his real name. And in Punjab, he was referred to as Babaji. So now this person describes how he felt. So he says, he was most un-Guru-like. Why? Because we always form images in our mind. हम कोई भी चीज सुनते हैं, हम पहले ही उसके बारे में कल्पना धारण कर लेते हैं, एक सोच बना लेते हैं. So probably, this gentleman also had an image of what a guru should be like. So he says he was the most un-Guru-like, and we all describe Guru Sahib as very unconventional. No flowing beard. Instead, he had a meticulously clean-shaven head. In his flowing, copiously embroidered, glistening robe, he looked like a sultan. The faithful prostrated themselves before him. Lovely ladies massaged his feet. What was this all about? The external trappings, the ritual bowing and scraping bewildered and confused me. Before taking a picture, I glimpsed only the external form. When I put the camera to my eye, I look at the world with concentrated energy. This transports me to a higher level of awareness. I see the deeper inner meaning. This transformation is the key to my spiritual experience of photography. By then, how could I not have been aware of this basic truth about myself in the first year of my association with Guruji? With his permission, I had been photographing him. I had taken many pictures, and many of them without any special meaning for me. I set about editing those pictures only after Guruji told me, let us see what kind of pictures you have been taking. So by now, we know that it's been unfolded that this is the satsang of the world famous photographer, GuruJi uncle himself. And he is sharing his connection, his journey in his words that I'm reading to you and sharing with you all. So, and that's when I experienced the first miracle. My inner vision exploded into life in brilliant flashes of revelations when I began to edit Guruji's photographs. Looking at them, I realized Guruji was not a man sitting amongst lovely ladies in Sangat, but it was all spiritual grace and affectionate benevolence in human form. Yes, Sangat ji, Guruji बहुत simple terms में कहा करते थे कि मैं तो एक divine light हूँ. अगर मैं अपने असली form, असली रूप में आ जाऊं, तो हम human being शायद वो देख ना सकें, वो tolerate ना कर सकें. इसलिए वो एक hard mass, skin and bones, एक human form में हमारे बीच में आके बैठे. क्यों? मनुष्य जाति का कल्याण बख्शने के लिए. उनका एकमात्र उद्देश्य था कि वो अपनी संगत का कल्याण बख्शे. तब भी गुरुजी थे, आज भी गुरुजी हैं, और आगे भी सिर्फ गुरुजी ही रहेंगे. Then we moved on. Initially, I had felt a little uneasy when he first asked Meeta to press his feet. As she gently massaged Guruji's feet, there gradually came into her face an expression of beatitude I had never seen before. She used to complain of shoulder pain. My pain, she exclaimed. My pain, it's gone. I cannot believe it. Yes, Sangat ji, हमने अपनी आंखों से देखा है कि सिर्फ गुरुजी के मात्र दर्शन से, वहां बैठकर शब्द कीर्तन सुनकर उनको छूकर आपकी शारीरिक पीड़ा कहां जाती थी, ये कोई मेडिकल साइंस नहीं समझा सकती. One day at a satsang, we were sharing personal experiences. When Guruji asked me to say something, I said, I love my wife very much. Then I added, but I have discovered that there was someone else my wife loved very much. There was a hushed silence. I went on. I discovered it was Guruji. My wife loves whom I love too. Everybody laughed. And I said to Guruji, my wife is beautiful. That's what everyone tells me. But when she presses your feet and a divine noor lights up her face, she is even more beautiful. Yes, Sangatji, we all are more beautiful merely by being his Sangat. And let me tell you, the time that was spent sitting in presence of Guruji, that time was the most, जिसे कहते हैं ना, आनंदमय. वो समय बहुत ही हर्ष और उल्लास से बीता होता था, as compared to all the other time that we spent outside doing our daily chores, attending college, doing our job. वो टाइम एक तरफ और गुरुजी के साथ बिताए हुए सारे दिन एक तरफ. I'm not religious. My faith is what I see reflected in people's eyes. It is my intensity to live and be alive. Guruji used to call me Nastik, which means agnostic. I have never touched anyone's feet, not even Mother Teresa's, though I loved and respected her. I had only kissed her hand. It was the same with Dalai Lama, yet spontaneously I would kiss Guruji's feet and inhale his fragrance. How beautiful is that? And Guruji said to me, Raghurai, tu mujhe wahan mil aur fir main tujhe leke chalunga, which means, translating in English, Raghurai, meet me there and then I will take you onward. Yes, Sangatji, we all want to be on that onward journey with Guru Sahib. Guruji's love energized us. Often we would sit with him till early dawn. Sleep would knock at us. One such late night, sitting at the Bada Mandir till 5 a.m., I hinted broadly, Guruji, when do you sleep? Hoping he would understand that we were dropping with slumber. So he was trying to give a hint क्योंकि उनको बहुत नींद आ रही थी, तो उन्होंने कहा कि चलो हम गुरुजी से पूछते हैं कि गुरु साहब आप बताइए कि आप कब सोते हैं. And Guruji replied, क्या सोना, ना मैं सोंदा सी ना मैं खांदा सी, हुन तुआडे नाल मिलकर मैं कदे कदे खा भी लेंदा हां ते कदी कदी सोना भी हां. So what Guruji said, that I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, but now in your company, I sometimes eat and sometimes sleep. So these are the limitations of being in a human choda, in physical form. कि गुरुजी महाशिव थे और महाशिव is stillness, it's an energy. तो ना खाना ना सोना. But now that he's amongst us, he very subtly, subliminally said that because now I'm in your company, I have to sometimes eat and I have to sometimes sleep. I was comprehensively silenced. Guruji was in a relaxed mood, lying on the carpet. I asked him, Guruji, this fragrance, which is around you all the time, where does it come from? Guruji's shirt was a little raised. He lifted it a little more and pointed to his navel. I bent forward and inhaled the fragrance and kissed the source. With Guruji's presence in our life, it has become a blissful experience. I'm going to interject here a little bit to share my own personal experience because I was the most fortunate one of the most fortunate recipients of, inhaling the dastwar and actually inhaling the fragrance right from the source. And Sangatji, there are no words in any language to describe the type of fragrance that was. If I have to describe it in one word, I will merely call it a heavenly experience. We did not mind working very hard 5 to 6 days a week and waited for Thursdays and weekends so that we could run to Guruji's world of grace and magnificence. When we had barely started floating in the middle of the night, we got a call from Vipi saying Guruji was at AIMS Hospital in Delhi. We rushed there, but it was all over. Guruji had decided to leave us. We sat at the hospital all night in vain hope that having experienced Guruji, he might just get up and walk out of there. Actually, he did not leave us. I found over and over again that when we have thought of him, he has always responded. And that is the gospel truth, Sangatji, because today, if we look at the Sangat, how exponentially manifold it has multiplied, it is a testament to his prowess, his grace, his power that is still present amongst us. I had an exhibition opening in France and had decided to take my whole family with me. We were changing planes in Dubai. In the middle of the night, I was sitting there, wrapped in sadness and pain at Guruji not being there. My daughter, who had her earphones on, suddenly called out to me saying, Papa, Guruji ka kirtan. I thought, what kirtan can there be when Guruji left us? As she put the earphones on me, all my sadness, pain, and anger vanished as mist at sunrise. These words I heard were, Mera Satguru Sada Sada hai. Na aaye, si na jayega. Which means, Sangatji, my Satguru is forever, eternal. He never came and will never go. These words are very, very profound, and I hope we are able to feel these words in every ounce, every cell of our body. We continued going to Guruji's mandir at least once a week. His fragrance still greets us, a reassurance we all need, especially in these times. When the world is ridden with immense tragedies and uncertainties. In Feb of 2008, Meeta, my daughters, and I were sitting at our farm on a sunny afternoon with some guests. The adults were having wine and held a glass each in their hands. Meeta mentioned that it has been many days since we had any contact with Guruji. I shrugged, something beyond our control. The very next moment, a butterfly came and started circling me closely. We were suddenly riveted to this sight. After a couple of minutes, it came and sat on my shoulder. I whispered excitedly, Guruji is here. I turned and kissed the butterfly. It started encircling me again. Meeta's sister, who had never met Guruji, suggested an offering of wine to Guruji. The very next moment, a butterfly came and sat on the rim of my wine glass. Sangatji, there are no coincidences in Guruji's world. I started narrating how Guruji was so different from others. I recalled how on New Year's Eve, when we sought his permission to leave his side early, he had known that we are going to a party and had blessed our merrymaking with words, go enjoy your whiskey. Listening to this, Meeta's sister insisted that I offer the butterfly a drink. The delicate little creature dived inside the glass and touched the surface of wine, came out and started circling me again. My youngest daughter, Purvai, who was sitting 10 feet away from us, complained. When Guruji was around, he never spoke to me, and even now, he does not come to me. That very instant, it went circling to my daughter. The joy on her face was amazing. After a few circles, the butterfly went to meet her, flew around her several times, and finally went and sat on her head. The whole experience lasted for over 10 minutes. That evening, I was sitting with Purvai. Suddenly, she said, Papa, listen to the story. Very similar to our experience with the butterfly. God speaks. The man whispered, God, speak to me. And a meadowlark sang, but the man did not hear. So the man yelled, God, speak to me. And the thunder rolled across the sky. But the man did not listen. So the man cried out in despair, touch me, God, and let me know you are here. Whereupon God reached down and touched the man. But the man brushed the butterfly away and walked on. The moment Purvai finished reading the story, the room was filled with Guruji's fragrance, as I have goosebumps right here, right now. Yes, Guru Maharaj, unsung hai, rag rag mein hai, hamari room room mein hai. Fark sirf hamari soch mein hai, Sangat ji. And that's why I always say, before we do any action, just make sure कि हम एक बार अपनी intent को खरी तरह से, पूरी तरह से टटोल ले. And if we feel our intent is in the right place, trust me, Guruji is with you. And I'm going to close out this book with this beautiful picture of Guruji's amazing juttis. और इन जुत्ती से भी इतनी fragrance आती थी संगत जी कि शायद मैं बयान न कर पाऊँ. And कल हम शुरुआत करेंगे with the next page and read more from this amazing coffee table book, which has been compiled by the world famous photographer Raghurai Uncle. Now, I'm going to be switching gears and reading Surcharge with Divine Love by Sukhmani Aunty. And I will skip the first few pages, which is the foreword, and dive right into the introduction. So, please be present. All those of you who have had a guru or have been under the guidance of a spiritual master will understand how I feel about Guruji. The relationship between a guru and disciple is the purest, most beautiful, and the most sacred relationship in the world. And may I add, Sangaji, that it should be a direct connection. Guru saman data nahi, yachak sheesh saman. Teen lok ki sampada, so guru, deen hi daan. These are Kabirji's words, which essentially means there is no donor like a guru and no seeker like a disciple. Guru can grant all three worlds to his disciple. And that's why we refer to our Guruji as Tino Lokon ke Nath. First and foremost, I join my hands in respect to Guruji's parents, yes indeed, who have been the medium of bringing such a great soul into this world. Writing about Guruji is an impossible task, as no one can pen down the vastness and greatness of Guruji. This book is just like a drop in the ocean. By writing this book, I wish to reach out to all those who are looking for a true guru, or those going through rough times and are unable to find solace. It is my humble request to them to come and find peace of mind at Guruji's feet. Even though he is no longer in his physical body, his blessings and presence is still felt by thousands of people around the world. Like I said, Guruji has become a global phenomenon. His satsangs are being conducted virtually in every continent of the world. And this is something that we could not have realized or grasped while Guruji was in his physical form. And today it is happening, unfolding right in front of our eyes. No longer being bound by the laws of nature, he, in fact, is even more powerful now. Through this book, I also wish to give a true perspective of Guruji's life, philosophy, and teachings to all those who were fortunate enough to meet him in his physical form, as well as those who have joined his Sangha after his Mahasamadhi. Let me point out here that there is no one who is new to Guruji. Guruji knows each and every one of us. I seriously believe that we have all had encounters with him in our previous lifetimes. And this is so true, Sangatji. Like I said in the beginning, that in Guruji's world, there is no coincidence. We feel that, oh my God, I stumbled upon this, or this happened. No, it is all being orchestrated by Maharaj himself. The main objective of this book is to highlight Guruji's teachings. There was a lesson in every conversation he had with us. Everything he said, even if in a joke, had a hidden meaning behind it. One just had to read between the lines to get it. He practically did the things that others preached. Yes, Guruji ka temperament was very, very light-hearted. बहुत jovial थे. और जो वो हंस के भी बात बोल जाते थे, उसमें एक बहुत गहरा meaning, रहस्य छुपा होता था संगतजी. I believe miracles do happen, and the miracle of all miracles happened to me the day I met my Guru. My mother and I have been associated with Guruji for many years, and through this book, mostly I've shared my own personal experiences. We do not wish to publicize or glorify ourselves. The book is written with the sole purpose to give a clear insight into Guruji's life and teachings through our experiences and conversations with him. Like this session today, the focus is not you or me. The focus is positivity. The focus is enlightenment. The focus is uplifting each other. The focus is rendering hope. The focus is glorifying Guru Sahib. Many years ago, Guruji had told me that I should write a book, but I never knew when that would be and about what. Until just before writing this book, I started to get hints in every newspaper I opened, every SMS I received, or every TV channel I browsed. I truly believe that this book reaching you today is no coincidence. It will only reach you at a time when you need it the most. If this book can answer even one individual's unanswered questions, or can guide someone to find a true guru, or can help them reach Guruji's temple and get cured of any illness, then my mission behind writing this book will be fulfilled. And I will read one more chapter. This was just the introduction from Sukhmani Aunty. So, his presence was felt even before meeting him. I was hardly 4 years old when I started talking about snakes and how they came and danced with me and played with me almost every night. I remember the first time I told my mother that I see snakes with small bells tied to their tails, that they come and dance with me. She laughed it off and put it down to the crazy imagination of a 4-year-old. The second time was different though. I got a tight slap across my face. I was lectured on how it is a bad thing to lie and make things up, and the importance of speaking the truth. I thought grown-ups were rather strange lot, and even though I kept seeing the snakes for a long time after that, I never said a word. It was my 10th class farewell, and having studied in a convent, the sisters held a prayer meeting before the party. We were all given a rosebud each, around which was wrapped a piece of paper. We were told that Jesus Christ himself had sent us a message regarding our future. I believed the convent sisters were a strange lot too. I tried to look pleased when I went up to the principal to collect my message. All my friends seemed happy on reading theirs. Some were told they would reach great heights. Some were predicted to find money. Some were told they would find true love. I was very disappointed on reading mine. It said, "Blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall see God." Oh my God, I just got goosebumps again. I told Christ I would be happier had he sent me some of the other stuff too. Little did I know, within a few years, I would actually meet God in the form of my guru, and the other stuff would have absolutely no meaning thereafter. It was late at night, and I switched off the bedside light to go off to sleep. I tried to relax and tell myself that what happened the night before was probably just my imagination. I have always had pictures of Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Baba Sri Chand Ji in my room. That night, I sent out a silent prayer to both of them to protect me. Scared and in anticipation, I waited for it to happen again, and I waited for an hour or so, and just as I was about to fall asleep, it happened. I felt someone came into my room and sat on my bed. The bed shook, and I heard and felt the mattress sink. I quickly reached out to put on the bedside light, but there was no one. I sat up all night trying to make sense of it all. This happened every night till the day I met Guruji. Over a period of time, I stopped fearing the presence in my room. In fact, I felt safe and protected. I soon realized that my bedside table, there was constantly medicines, had now become empty as I had started to enjoy good health. Many years later, Guruji asked me of this presence in my room and told me that it was he himself who used to come, sit on my bed and watch over me. What a blessing, and how fortunate is that? And this is exactly what he's doing today on each one of us. Ever since childhood, I have felt a protection around me and my family. Many times we have escaped death and severe accidents by merely a few seconds. My life too seemed to be guided by the unknown force that had a plan of its own. In retrospect, I realize now that I being given subtle hints of what I was headed towards, but was too ignorant and foolish to take notice of them. I didn't realize till much later that it was Guruji who had been watching over all of us. The day we first met Guruji, he welcomed us by saying, "Sada parivar वापस आ गया." My family has finally come back to me. this was the beginning of a beautiful journey with Guruji. All right, so यहाँ पर आज के लिए विश्राम लेते हैं. And like I said, that Guruji's purpose was कि वो अपने शिव परिवार को इकट्ठा करे. जैसे हम एक माला को एक एक फूल चुनकर पिरोते हैं. That's what Guruji is doing across the globe, connecting us slowly but surely, one flower at a time. And it's really up to us कि हमने कितनी लगाव से, कितनी शिद्दत से, कितनी सरेंडर से अपने गुरु साहिब के साथ जुड़ना है. All of us in our own right are emissaries to his love, his light, and it is our duty to spread his love, his light across all boundaries, across all religions, across all castes, creeds, stratas, and bring us all together. Even the light of divinity says that Guruji never wanted his cup to fragment. And I do believe, Sangatji, everything in our life happens for a reason. We may not understand it, we may question it, but we must accept it. In the last 18 months, my life personally has taken such twists and turns and ups and downs. And I just feel that he's put me on a different journey altogether. Something that I had not done in my last, I would say 21, 22 years of my connect with Guruji. I have been doing more and more of that in the last 18 months. मैं कभी इतना सत्संग नहीं करती थी. I never imagined कि मैं शिव पुराण पढ़ना शुरू करूँगी. And it's not that कि शिव पुराण पढ़कर my core has changed, but I've begun to appreciate the finer things in life. I appreciate the importance of tap, part, puja, penance, and just connecting with the higher being and being less critical and being more accepting and being more forgiving. I have started to be extra kind to people who have put me down because I recognize the fact that ये जो हम सांस ले रहे हैं, संगत is a bonus. हमें नहीं पता कि अगले पल वो श्वास आएगी कि नहीं आएगी. और अगर हम ये समझ जाएं that any moment could be our last moment, we do want to go on our onward journey with a lot of positivity, with a lot of love, with a lot of kindness and forgiveness in our heart for everybody. And that's why, we say that do not sever your connections. Yes, differences happen. Differences happen in relationships. People fall apart, but keeping your core intact and having a sense of what is it that my guru would expect me to do. Kindness over rightness. These are some of the little reminders that help us see positivity in the most difficult times of our life. And I pray that may there be Guruji's love, may there be Guruji's guidance in our lives. संगत जी गुरुजी के साथ जुड़े रहिए, उनसे प्यार करिए, unconditionally प्यार करिए, और फिर as Guruji used to say, नज़ारे देखो. So with this, I'm going to take a pause. If there's anyone in the listeners who would want to express themselves or have a question, it is an open forum and I'm all ears. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey today. Guruji, कोई भूल चूक हो गई हो तो मैं दिल से क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ. जय गुरुजी, सदा शुक्राना महाराज. ओम नमः शिवाय, शिवजी सर्व सहाय. ओम नमः शिवाय, गुरुजी सर्व सहाय. जय गुरुजी.
Jai Guruji, Aarti. Yeah, hi Aarti. Darling, you read beautifully. I just want to say I really resonate with your concluding part where you said, I personally feel that in recent times, particularly, no matter where we come from, it's always what matters is where we're going, right? And what matters in the last 2 years, particularly during the pandemic, I feel that he's redefined our values. He's redefined our perception on things, on life, and our perspective and our priorities. And I really feel what you just said also, that, forgiveness has entered the room of my heart. and the resentment has melted. And
Right.
I am also in a space of complete and utter acceptance of what is. Even the pandemic is his hukum, because without God's hukum, nothing moves, not even a leaf can move from a tree. So even the times we're living in is his hukum, because maybe it came to awaken us to our truth, right? So maybe we were all sleepwalking through life in a slumber. And these fabulous books that we are revisiting, whether it's GuruJi's or Sukhmani's Ji's, it's kind of reiterating what he taught us and what he came to teach us. And I think we're living in a wonderful moment if we see it that way. Like Guruji said, "Bada mara time aa raha hai, but tusi positive rehna hai, hamesha positive mindset rakhna hai." And I believe that even when I first came to Guruji, that was the worst Mara time of my life, because I was sinking deep into the abyss of my sorrow. And I was, my personal relation, my marriage was collapsing. Of course, my physical being was collapsing. I was on my deathbed, literally. So it cannot be more Mara than that. And he gave me the solution, bas satsang, seva, simran kita kar. And today also, again, the maritime, the universal maritime has arrived. And I feel, again, the solution is the same. He is constant in these unstable times. He's the only stability. And he is the only constant. So again, it comes back to Satsang, Seva, Simran, and Gupt Part, Gupt Dan, Gupt Seva. And I feel these were just words earlier, but in the pandemic, he's put that stamp on it. And I really feel that now we're living it, Earlier, we were saying it and trying to internalize it, but he's enabling us. That's his grace. He's enabling us to internalizing it and actualizing it in our lives. It's a fantastic time for us to actually live out his truth and to reveal our own truth. So that's what I would just like to add, because I just felt so, I felt so connected with your words that I resonated with them, and I thought I'll just reiterate, everything that I've also gone through. So Mara time is for the universe, for people who are not connected to him. But for us, it's a time for awakening. And Guruji is there to drive us to our truth. And I think that's the biggest grace and the greatest grace that we mortals can be gifted with. So let's rejoice in that and embrace that completely.
Absolutely, Aunty. Satsang, Seva, Simran, the three mool asool that we all want to live by. And this journey is about evolution. And I think becoming a better version of our own selves with each passing day. And I firmly believe that I am not even the same person what I was maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I've changed. Because back then I was focused on, no, but I'm right. And he's wrong or she's wrong. And today my focus is, I just want to love and forgive regardless. And
absolutely.
To me, that's a very big inner transformation. And some people might mock at that, and it doesn't bother me. Like I every moment, my only ardas to Guruji is that you steer my life and do not put me on the path you don't want me to walk. This morning was full of commotion. Even the timing that I got was wrong. I was thinking it's 11:30 Eastern time. And then 9 minutes ago, when I saw the invite, I called Shilpi. Like I was panicked. I said, "Oh my God, I'm so stressed as it is. And it's going to be 9 minutes from now. I told you 11:30. She's like, "Auntie, the link is open." I was like, "All right, Guruji, it's game time." Guru Rakha, and I ran down in my PJs and I started to read his books, and it just flowed. So thank you, Guruji, for your guidance and blessings. Anyone